Peace. Yo, this is the God Lock Kim. I'm gonna bust down a little bit of science behind a movie that I had the opportunity to watch a couple of times. I watched it about 3 times just to do the basic knowledge on it and scrutinize it with all 3 of my eyes. I'm talking about the movie Sinners. In this movie, I noticed that the demons or the vampires, they had to be welcomed in your life or in the house. They couldn't just walk in. They needed your permission to come in. And that's powerful. That's a powerful thing because as I observed, most of the turbulences in our life, most of the incongruities and the disturbances that occur in our life usually happen because we welcome them in. We give them access to us. So we need to reanalyze and look at things from a perspective that allows us to understand that nothing just happens. Nothing just happened to you. Some kind of way you invited it in your life, in your world. If you look at the basic entrance to most buildings and most homes, it has a mat in the front of the door that says welcome. But usually before you step in, you're supposed to wipe your feet off on the welcome mat. This is a symbolic gesture of wiping off any of the dirt, the energy, the bullshit, the foolishness, the malarkey that you have ran into in the outside world. And you don't want to track that in the person's house. But a lot of times we don't recognize this physical form as our house. And so a lot of times there's no welcome mat for people to wipe their feet off on. There's no purification process for people to kick the dirt off of them before we let them into our energy field, let them into our heart, into our mind, into our world. And so oftentimes, most of the demons disguise themselves as friends, as allies, or as those who champion your cause, or people who got your back. But usually, you have to let them in. And once they're in, that's when they reveal who they truly are. And I had this thought in mind because so much emphasis was put on the demons telling them in that movie, invite me in. Invite me in. You had to invite them in. If there was no invitation, they did not have access to you. So remember that, you know what I'm saying, as you move about in the world and something may look a certain way. It may appear appealing. It may have a magnetic attraction, but in order for it to corrupt you, in order for it to disrupt you, you have to give it permission. You have to let it in. Stop letting it in. Analyze. Observe. Everybody. You know, I have this comment, this statement, or this phrase that I use. And I say we live in a world where we have to reevaluate everybody every day. And I say that because you never know the different dimensions to people. Every individual has a spiritual side. Every individual has a light and they have a dark. Every individual needs to be observed. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be scrutinized. You know what I mean? You need to look at them, observe them, their bad habits, their good habits, and where they fit in your world at any given moment. And remember this, you have to let them in. And in letting them in and giving them that invite, you're also setting yourself up for success or failure. Because some people enter your world and disrupt everything. And some people enter your world as an asset. But it's all based on the law of discretion. Do you use discretionary measures on who you let in your world? Or do you just welcome and invite anybody in? Remember that. Stop inviting anybody in your world. Everybody is not welcome to a seat at your table. Everybody is not welcome in your home. You know what I'm saying? Master self. master everything around you. Peace. The God Lakim. One.